Welcome back to the Talking Tavern. This is part 2 of my interview with Dave Lee, aka Nizuul. Welcome back, Dave.
Good to be back, thank you.
There's 2 campaigns on Chaotic Good. One that started as a Pathfinder campaign called Unwanted, and of course the newer campaign, the Shattered Star campaign. Now, it looks like both campaigns now are using the Open Legend game system. Could you explain to any viewers who perhaps aren't familiar with Open Legend what it is, how it differs from Pathfinder and D&D, and why you chose it instead of
Absolutely,
those?
sure, absolutely. If you look behind me, you can see my Pathfinder collection.
Yeah, there's quite a lot there, so yeah.
And I will always collect Paizo's resources because I really appreciate the fact that Pathfinder doesn't do versions. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I grew up on Dungeons and Dragons, but by the time they're on their 5th edition, and I was pretty invested on 3rd, and I even got invested on 4th, and now they're on 5th, and that to me it gets a little hard.
Yeah, kind of shifting the goalposts.
Yeah, and when they stop supporting a version, it's really frustrating. Or Pathfinder doesn't do that, so I'm always willing to go ahead and step up for Paizo and purchase their materials. Plus, it's always good resources for me as a game master. It's never a waste of money. But we did move on from Pathfinder over to Open Legend, and that story is obviously being a part of the Twitter community. I've really learned. There's a lot of stuff out there, and there's a lot of people making a lot of great stuff. And I came across Open Legend and looked into it, and really liked what I read. I was like, oh my gosh. And it's not because of the exploding dice rule that they have. So there's 2 primary rules, in my opinion, that Open Legend has that sell it for me. One is exploding dice, which means anytime a dice rolls its highest number, you add another one. Fun is, oh my god, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. You're like, oh,
so they the popping around on the screen.
Myself and my party included eat that up, and my gosh, we have a good time. You're just rolling tremendous rolls. And remember when I was talking about when I converted the DC, all the superheroes to the DC system?
Yeah.
That system had exploding dice also. So I'm familiar with that mechanic, and I remember the good times we had when dice would explode into these humongous rolls, and you just had these really cool moments. So that was a big capture. But Open Legend has one particular rule, which was the hook, line, and sinker for me. And what it is it's called Every Roll Matters.
You're right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, every roll matters means the GM is probably going to ask for less die rolls, but when you're asking for a die roll, make sure it's a meaningful roll. Because if the player succeeds in it, you're probably going to give the player a chance to interpret that roll and describe what happens. When the player fails the roll, though, it's going to be up to the GM to interpret the roll, and he has 2 choices. He can either let the roll succeed, but add a twist, or have the roll fail, but move the plot forward.
Right, I see, yeah.
Okay, and the way that would look if we had a situation where the player's trying to get through a locked door, and they decide they're going to use their might and break through the door and just bash on it and break through. And inside, they can hear screams, and they're trying to save people inside. They can literally make their check on might. If they succeed, they blast the door open and get inside. If they fail, now the Dungeon Master has a choice. He can do a success with a twist. The twist could be it takes them 5 or 6 bashes, and then he hears the piercing sound of someone gurgling and dying, and realizes that he is, the door did burst open on the 5th one, but someone died because of it. So the twist is the death. Another thing you could do is have them fail, but advance the story. So a failure would be you slam against the door, it knocks you down, your head's spinning, and a shadow overtakes you, and you turn around behind you and see behind you the jailkeeper with the keys with 3 guards, and he goes, "You looking for these?" So you see how you advance the story. You advance the story because you give the keys to the door to them so you're advancing a plot, but you're offering to fail, and you play the whole game that way. And what it's done is it's reinvigorated me as a game master. It's the only way I can put it. I feel like I'm back in high school in a sense, where I can't wait for them to fail a roll. Because as soon as they fail a roll, I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll interpret that. And my players are like, oh.
When you're planning this, do you kind of think of those options and think of what those possible failures with the twist could be? Or is it all improvised or a mixture?
Ben, that's a really good question, because if you watch some of the earlier episodes, like the ones I was running up when we were at PaizoCon, I did have notes in a folder, and I was bullet pointing some of my ideas. And what I discovered is I would always want to first try to improvise. First, use those as a fail-safe. What I found is I wasn't using them.
Right, so they were just taking time in planning.
And you know what? I just gave it up. In fact, I've given up planning entirely. This is a recent change I've had where I don't even I know the plot points in my head, and Open Legend is such a dynamic system that I don't want to, suppose a failure move the plot forward changes the story somehow. I want to be able to be reactive,
Yeah,
and it's really
think on your feet rather than being bound by, oh well, I wrote this and that was kind of a cool idea that I spent 20 minutes on last night plotting. Maybe I could shoehorn that in.
Exactly. And this is probably the biggest change in my GMing right now, is that you if you put the investment into it, you have some type of tie-in with it. And by coming up to the table with your hands empty, just sitting there and GMing, and I was terrified because the first time I did it was on camera. I'm like, I hope I don't blow this.
Yeah.
And it turned out it works. And so I've run 2 sessions like that now on camera, where I'm just showing up at the table. Let's do it. Like I didn't have any notes for our first Twitch stream on Roll20. No notes.
I suppose you get better at the improvisation the more you kind of put yourself in that situation too.
Yeah. It's scary taking the plunge, though. I'll tell you that. You're like, oh god.
For the Unwanted campaign, you're using Roll20 to stream and record your videos. For the first time, it's been, I think there's been 2 sessions so far. What's been your experience of using Roll20, and how does it compare to the in-person and physical camera setup that you had in Season 1?
All right. We are using Roll20 for one of the parties. The second party, my younger party, I don't want to call them the millennials or but they're younger. They're
right.
Different generation.
Yeah.
And they're friends I've acquired through the days who have a gaming interest as well. And we enjoy playing. So that's the other party. That party we'll be doing live because they're local in California. The party that we're doing, that we're streaming on Twitch is in other states. So that's the party of, we got Washington, North Carolina, California, stuff like that. So we were bringing it into the Roll20 app. Now I have played. When Roll20 showed up, I was on board with it, and I was actually running some stuff on it. So I have a little bit of experience with the app, and I've been a supporter of that app for a long time. And so moving over to it was a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. And that app is incredible, and it's gotten better. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
And the dynamic lighting, all the stuff they do, and the dice and the GM layers and all that stuff. It does make for a great experience. But that being said, nothing touches the energy around a table with the physical dice.
Yeah.
There's no comparison. I will always prefer to be around a table. But that being said, the Roll20 is just a slight notch down.
Yeah.
And, you can do a little more with the Roll20 visually. But then again, is that a handicap? Since you're offering pictures as and displaying stuff to the players to give a visual representation of what you're describing, in a table when you're sitting there, you are doing some handouts, but a lot of the time, though, you're explaining things and really letting their imagination put the pieces together in their own head.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know which is the right way to do it. Maybe both are right. I don't know. But yeah, I would say that the Roll20 lets you put more digital imagery up there.
The GM has got the most work to do on the table, as we know, but the game is nothing without its players. You've already kind of touched on a little bit about your players, but who are some of them, and what are their in-game characters, and what are their play styles like?
Oh, wow. To be perfectly honest, I feel truly blessed with having the players I get to play with, and the fact that we grew up together as friends. It wasn't just like, wow, it's not like putting a boy band together. It was actual people that known each other and developed their role-playing skills and styles. And these guys, they do the heavy lifting, in my opinion. I do run the game, and I kind of put the story forward, but I put a lot in their hands. Anytime they make a die roll, if they're not describing it, I'm going to ask them to describe it, because I want to see their magic happen, as well as, that puts more on them and less on me, to be honest. And it's economical, and it makes the story better too. And these guys are uber talented, in my opinion. I can't get. They make me laugh like crazy. I literally hand it off to them. I just want to watch them go. And we're growing. We have a huge team, and we even have some more on the bench, and we're probably past 12 players. I probably can't highlight each of them. So we have some artwork for some of the players, so maybe I'll do that. I'll highlight our 3 players that have some artwork. I'd love to get artwork for everyone. That gets expensive. But our primary 3 artwork players, we have Von Stad,
Mm-hmm.
we have Ivandar,
Yep.
and we have Brax. And to go down in order, Von Stad. Now, players have different styles. So when you're putting a party together, I'm always thinking of the different styles and how they're going to complement each other.
Yeah.
And you don't need 2 comic reliefs. You only need 1. You need 1 party leader. You need 1 showman, stuff like that. So those 3 characters, we have those 3 components. We have our showman, which is Von Stad. He is a great voice actor, boisterous showman, and just goes and rambles on with beautiful role playing, and just goes and everything he does, he describes in such detail that it blows my mind. And he's fantastic. And then when we talk about our party leader, that would be Ivandar. Now, Ivandar is also what I would like to call an improviser. So you have certain characters that want to get all the information from the dungeon master or game master and then decide based on that. And whatever you gave them, they're going to use that against you, in a sense.
Yeah.
And he is brilliant at that. You have a slip of the tongue, oh, no. Ivandar will get you. So it's fun because you get a little bit of a mental chess match, but you know the rules.
Yeah.
And Ivandar specializes that. Ivandar's also a fantastic role player, and plays that character to the teeth. He also plays Grigsnack in in the Shattered Star campaign, which is another hilarious creative character. And then we got Brax. Now, Brax is probably my favorite, because Brax is he's our comic relief, man. And I don't even, it's almost like, is he really doing this, or is he even trying? But God, he can play a half ogre. So, and we like to make fun of him for it too. But he comes up with the funniest one-liners, man. He can sit and be quiet for 15 minutes, and then he opens his mouth and it's over. You know?
Just
he just makes the room go crazy. And his character, though, is a rehash of a character back in the old school D&D back in high school. Okay. He played a half ogre with a ballista. And we never knew it. It took us 20 years to remember his name. What's the name of your half ogre? Yeah. And we finally remembered. He's like, "Isn't it Brax?" I'm like, "That's it." And we decided to bring him back.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
it's been resurrected.
Yeah, and the way he got that in D&D back in the day, he got that ballista by chance because they were firing ballistas at him. He picked it up, started shooting people with it. He's like, "I'm keeping this," and decided to keep it. So. Those are 3, but we have a whole family of just amazing, incredible, talented role players.
I watched the first episode of the new season yesterday, and the energy and the way they use the descriptive language to describe the characters and what the characters are doing. It's almost like there are multiple GMs in a way, if that makes sense.
That's exactly what I'm trying. Exactly. Yeah. They make me look good. But I think that's the name of the game, though. It's not about the GM. It's about the players. And a GM's there to help deliver a story, prop these heroes up, and let them be the center point of the story. And to do that, you got to step back and let them do their thing. And they when it's their turn, they do a great job. Love it. Now I'm getting in the mood to game. Let's go.
Yeah. The channel has a great logo and, as you mentioned, other artwork as well. Did you say that's commissioned or is that done by?
Yeah, I wish I could draw like that. Well, I'm a game developer, so I work in the game development business. So you have certain advantages because we have an art team. So the logo for Chaotic Good is written by a good friend that I work with. He's our UI designer, so he specializes in designing things like logos. Because when you have UI, you have buttons to press, and there's always, there's panels that you interact with, and he does the actual design work for that. And we work together, and it's commissioned work, absolutely. And he came up with that brilliant design. We worked together and collaborated to come up with that. I don't know where I got the name. I just remember the name hit me, and I pitched it and to everyone. I'm like, "What do you think of this name?" And it really describes us because we're chaotic, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're foul mouthed. We'll do whatever it takes, but we're good. This is a group of good people, and so Chaotic Good's a perfect name. And the way he made that logo come to life with that chaotic good aspect is bloody brilliant. And now we also have concept artists at work, and there's a concept artist who's a great guy as well, and my God, he's talented. He also does comic books and stuff. So I hit him up and asked him if he'd be interested in a couple commissions for our characters. And the first one he drew is Brax. Oh, no. The first one he drew is my Nizuul.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God. And it was over after that. But money, here's money.
Sold.
Here's money, take my money. Yeah. Artwork is worth every penny you pay. Support your artists. It's so worth it.
Well, it gives a professional look to what is, I think, an incredibly entertaining actual play.
Thank you very much.
With
Thank
a
you very
lot
much.
of talented players and of course the GM. So I think everyone should at the very least give one episode a try and hopefully be hooked and keep watching.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, we love doing this. Like I said, it's just for fun, guys. We're just putting a camera on a true gaming session. It's just us gaming, doing what we do every time we get around the table with a camera on us. It doesn't get much more, I would say, just authentic than that.
Yeah.